Swift opening for Brad Paisley in 2007. To promote her first album, she opened tours for other country musicians in 2007 and 2008. At an industry showcase at Nashville's Bluebird Cafe in 2005, Swift caught the attention of Scott Borchetta, a DreamWorks Records executive who was preparing to form an independent record label, Big Machine Records. She had first met Borchetta in 2004. She was one of Big Machine's first signings, and her father purchased a 3% stake in the company for an estimated $120,000. She began working on her eponymous debut album with producer Nathan Chapman, with whom she felt she had the right chemistry. Swift wrote 3 of the album's songs alone and co-wrote the remaining 8 with Rose, Robert Ellis Orrall, Brian Maher, and Angelo Petralia. Taylor Swift was released on October 24, 2006. Country Weekly critic Chris Neal deemed Swift better than previous aspiring teenage country singers because of her honesty, intelligence, and idealism. The album peaked at number 5 on the U.S. Billboard 200, on which it spent 157 weeks, the longest stay on the chart by any release in the U.S. in the 2000s decade. Swift became the first female country music artist to write or co-write every track on a U.S. Platinum-certified debut album. Big Machine Records was still in its infancy during the June 2006 release of the lead single Tim McGraw, which Swift and her mother helped promote by packaging and sending copies of the CD single to country radio stations. As there was not enough furniture at the label yet, they would sit on the floor to do so. She spent much of 2006 promoting Taylor Swift with a radio tour and television appearances. She opened for Rascal Flatts on select dates during their 2006 tour as a replacement for Eric Church. Borchetta said that although record industry peers initially disapproved of his signing a 15-year-old singer-songwriter, Swift tapped into a previously unknown market, teenage girls who listened to country music. Following Tim McGraw, 4 more singles were released throughout 2007 and 2008. Teardrops on My Guitar, Our Song, Picture to Burn, and Should Have Said No all appeared on Billboard's Hot Country Songs, with Our Song and Should Have Said No reaching number 1. With Our Song, Swift became the youngest person to single-handedly write and sing a number 1 song on the chart. Teardrops on My Guitar reached number 13 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. Swift also released 2 EPs, the Taylor Swift Holiday Collection in October 2007 and Beautiful Eyes in July 2008. She promoted her debut album extensively as the opening act for other country musicians' tours in 2006 and 2007, including those by George Strait, Brad Paisley, and Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. Swift won multiple accolades for Taylor Swift. She was one of the recipients of the Nashville Songwriters Association's Songwriter Artist of the Year in 2007, becoming the youngest person to be honored with the title. She also won the Country Music Association's Horizon Award for Best New Artist, the Academy of Country Music Awards' Top New Female Vocalist, and the American Music Awards' Favorite Country Female Artist honor. She was also nominated for Best New Artist at the 50th Annual Grammy Awards. In 2008, she opened for Rascal Flatts again and dated singer Joe Jonas briefly. 2008, 2010. Fearless Taylor Swift in 2009. Swift at the 2009 premiere of Hannah Montana, the movie. She had a cameo appearance in the film and wrote 2 songs for its soundtrack. Swift's second studio album, Fearless, was released on November 11, 2008, in North America, and in March 2009 in other markets. Critics lauded Swift's honest and vulnerable songwriting in contrast to other teenage singers. 5 singles were released in 2008, 2009, Love Story, White Horse, You Belong With Me, 15, and Fearless. The first single peaked at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 in Australia. It was the first country song to top Billboard's Pop Songs chart. You Belong With Me was the album's highest-charting single on the Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 2, and was the first country song to top Billboard's all-genre radio songs chart. All 5 singles were Hot Country Songs top 10 entries, with Love Story and You Belong With Me topping the chart. Fearless became her first #1 album on the Billboard 200 and 2009's top-selling album in the U.S. The Fearless Tour, Swift's first headlining concert tour, grossed over $63 million. Journey to Fearless, a documentary miniseries, aired on television and was later released on DVD and Blu-ray. Swift also performed as a supporting act for Keith Urban's Escape Together World Tour in 2009. In 2009, the music video for You Belong With Me was named Best Female Video at the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards. Her acceptance speech was interrupted by rapper Kanye West, an incident that became the subject of controversy, widespread media attention, and internet memes. That year, she won 5 American Music Awards, including Artist of the Year and Favorite Country Album. Billboard named her 2009's Artist of the Year. She won Video of the Year and Female Video of the Year for Love Story at the 2009 CMT Music Awards, where she made a parody video of the song with rapper T-Pain called Thug Story. At the 52nd Annual Grammy Awards, Fearless was named Album of the Year and Best Country Album, and White Horse won Best Country Song and Best Female Country Vocal Performance. Swift was the youngest artist to win Album of the Year. At the 2009 Country Music Association Awards, Swift won Album of the Year for Fearless and was named Entertainer of the Year, the youngest person to win the honor. Swift featured on John Mayer's single Half of My Heart and Boys Like Girls, Two is Better Than One, the latter of which she co-wrote. She co-wrote and recorded Best Days of Your Life with Kelly Pickler and wrote 2 songs for the Hannah Montana, the movie soundtrack, You'll Always Find Your Way Back Home and Crazier. She contributed 2 songs to the Valentine's Day soundtrack, including the single Today Was a Fairy Tale, which was her first #1 on the Canadian Hot 100 and peaked at #2 on the U.S. Hot 100. While shooting her film debut Valentine's Day in October 2009, Swift dated co-star Taylor Lautner. In 2009, she made her television debut as a rebellious teenager in a CSI crime scene investigation episode. She hosted and performed as the musical guest on Saturday Night Live. She was the first host ever to write their own opening monologue. 2010-2014. Speak Now and Red Swift singing into a mic while playing a banjo. Swift performing at the Speak Now World Tour in 2012. In August 2010, Swift released Mine, the lead single from her 3rd studio album, Speak Now. It entered the Hot 100 at #3. Swift wrote the album alone and co-produced every track. It was released on October 25, 2010, opening atop the Billboard 200 with over 1 million copies sold. It became the fastest-selling digital album by a female artist, with 278,000 downloads in a week. Critics appreciated Swift's grown-up perspectives. Rob Sheffield of Rolling Stone wrote, "In a mere 4 years, the 20-year-old Nashville firecracker has put her name on 36 or so of the smartest songs released by anyone in pop, rock, or country." Back to December. Mean, The Story of Oos, Sparks Fly, and Ours became subsequent singles, with the latter 2 reaching #1 on the Hot Country Songs and the first 2 peaking in the top 10 in Canada. She dated actor Jake Gyllenhaal in 2010. At the 54th Annual Grammy Awards in 2012, Swift won Best Country Song and Best Country Solo Performance for Mean, which she performed during the ceremony. Swift won other awards for Speak Now, including Songwriter Artist of the Year by the Nashville Songwriters Association, 2010 and 2011, Woman of the Year by Billboard, 2011, and Entertainer of the Year by the Academy of Country Music, 2011 and 2012, and the Country Music Association in 2011. At the American Music Awards of 2011, Swift won Artist of the Year and Favorite Country Album. Rolling Stone named Speak Now amongst its 50 Best Female Albums of All Time, 2012. Writing, "She might get played on the country station, but she's one of the few genuine rock stars we've got these days, with a flawless ear for what makes a song click." The Speak Now World Tour ran from February 2011 to March 2012 and grossed over $123 million, followed up by the live album Speak Now World Tour Live. She contributed 2 original songs to the Hunger Games soundtrack album, Safe and Sound, co-written and recorded with the Civil Wars and T-Bone Burnett, and Eyes Open. Safe and Sound won the Grammy Award for Best Song, written for visual media, and was nominated for the Golden Globe Award for Best Original Song. Swift featured on B.O.B.'s single Both of Us, released in May 2012. She dated Connor Kennedy that year.